Although gasoline-powered classics will continue to dominate the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance for decades to come, EVs are making inroads, even at one of the nation's most prestigious classic car shows. Perhaps the most beautiful EV on display at the 2022 Amelia Concours was this Hisano Suiza Carmen Boulogne. This Spanish supercar has a price tag of about $2 million, depending on the options a customer chooses. Hisano Suiza Chief Technology Officer Juan Fernandez says it was inspired by the Spanish automaker's heritage.
Well, it was inspired in the número decennia. That was an Hispano-Suiza that was produced in 1938, and if you see the shape of that car, it was really very aerodynamic, and by that time it was really on top of the technology. So just to that people can recognize that it's a Hispano-Suiza, so we follow that design, and the design is more or less aerodynamic. It's not that, I mean, normally EV cars, they have really narrow tires, and so they go there, but it's, I mean, you can maximize also the range if you're using good strategies that we have from our experience in motorsport with the Formula E.
A production run of just 24 cars is planned.
And we went to electric because it was, I think that's the way to go now with the new regulations.
It has a claimed 0 to 60 of under 3 seconds according to FastLaps.com, with the two rear electric motors producing just over 8,000 brake horsepower. Fernandez says it has an 80 kilowatt battery with a range of between about 185 and 400 miles per charge, depending on how it's driven.
It's on the front you have a storage. That was a decision that we made because we think we need, I mean, the idea wasn't to do just a supercar that you cannot go anywhere, so we prefer to keep some luggage. And I mean, it's power chains on the rear, so it's rear wheel drive, and you have independent motors to the left and to the right, but always on the rear. Okay? The battery is a T-shaped battery, so you have in the tunnel and you have in the back of the seats.
Hisano Suiza was originally founded in 1904 in Barcelona. Over the decades, it eventually veered away from automotive production, moving into turbine manufacturing at one point. Another automotive nameplate being revived as an EV is Hummer. Last year, visitors to the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance were treated to the Hummer EV in prototype form. But now, they're rolling off the assembly line and into garages. When GM ended production of the original Hummers in 2010, they were known as gas-guzzling signs of excess. According to the EPA, the new Hummers get the equivalent of 47 miles per gallon in combined driving. While that might sound like a good number, and it is certainly a big improvement over the old gasoline versions, the new Hummers are among the least efficient EVs to enter production, weighing over 9,000 pounds. GMC bills the Hummer EV as the world's first all-electric super truck. The first Hummers off the line cost more than $110,000 and come with 1,000 available horsepower in what's known as Watts to Freedom mode. Given the truck's weight, it has a staggering fast 0 to 60 time of 3 seconds according to GM. That matches Porsche's Taycan Turbo EV sports car. Porsche also had a big EV presence at the Amelia this year. With ride and drives of its EV lineup here on Amelia Island, Porsche is likely to translate some of these beautiful cars into direct sales. Porsche's Taycan GTS Turismo is actually a station wagon of sorts, sporting the shooting brake design, a sports car with a dose of extra practicality, and it's one of the fastest charging EVs available. The turbo trim version has 670 horsepower and starts at just under $151,000. BMW is also rolling out new EVs, including an iX M60, which is the brand's first production EV done in conjunction with its M Performance division. The electric SUV can hit 60 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds with 610 horsepower. Although EV Rider focuses primarily on EVs, no trip to the Amelia would be complete without a look at least a few of the classics on display. I hope you enjoy this brief sampling of some of the finest cars throughout history that were on view. If you enjoyed this episode of EV Rider, please give it a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can bring you more adventures in EV motoring.